Chip, have you seen there in College Station already any other members of the Bush family who may not be out here on the train? I mean, I'm not sure that all of the family members are on the train.
We have not seen any, but, you know, because it's a high security event, we are kind of kept in our little corner here on this side of the presidential library. The burial site is actually on the other side, past a grove of trees, past a pond. It's quite a ways away, and again, that will be a private ceremony. But let me add a little bit about the train. You probably saw that plexiglass window on the side of the train. Well, the plan is to light the flag-draped casket so that people can see it as the train is coming by. It's 70 miles from Spring, Texas to here. It's going to take 2.5 hours. Do the math, that's 20-some miles an hour. And the train is capable of going much faster than that, and it will between towns. But when it gets to towns, it will absolutely crawl, partly for safety reasons and partly so that people can really get a good look at the flag-draped casket as it passes by on its way here, his final resting place.
And so as
Tanya?
it moves through these towns, Chip, is there security involved in who gets to stand by the tracks and get a good look at that casket, or is it just anyone in town who can make it to the train tracks?
That's right. It's really whoever can do it. The woman we talked to, Ann Hayes, she just happens to live right there, and she's going to have a party right there in front of her house. Again, a celebration of life party in front of her house. When she's expecting dozens and dozens of people to show up, a lot of people from the Bush Library here, and it's 70 miles of track. They certainly can't have security all along there. They're just going to have to trust people's good judgment. Perhaps where there are a lot of people, they will have local police departments there to make sure nobody gets too close to the tracks. In fact, I would wager that's a pretty good bet,
Chip,
that they will have local police all the way along.
I don't want to interrupt you,
Go
but
ahead.
I just want to point out before the camera moves too far away, we just saw a darling picture of a little boy holding up an American flag by the side of the train tracks, just waiting patiently. And, you know, as a mother, I take a look at that little boy and I think he looks about 4 years old, which is the age you said that little Robin was when she passed away.
Right.
And we've been speaking so much about that over the past few days. Such a tender age, and I am sure that that is something that the Bush family never fully recovered from.
Well, yes, the Bushes have said it was the hardest moment in their lives, in their marriage, and in their lives. Just devastating to lose a child at that age. But
the train is now moving,
what
Chip.
you were talking about,
sorry to interrupt once again, but I just wanted to point out that it is now moving. It is on its way. It has started that 70-mile journey, and as you said, it will be going only about 20 miles an hour. Is that right, Chip?
That will be the average, 20-some. Through small towns, it will go much slower than that, and through the less populated areas, it will probably cruise along. But on average, it will do about 25 miles an hour. But in those small towns, it will barely crawl along, as the people at Union Pacific told us yesterday when we were out there doing interviews in front of the train.
It is quite a sight to see, and those colors of Air Force One on the train. It's very impressive, I must say, even just looking at video images. Let's watch for a few moments in silence. All right, I want to bring back in CBS News national correspondent Chip Reid and historian Jonathan Darman, who have been standing by with us watching these images of the presidential train, the 70-mile train ride that the casket of President George H.W. Bush is now taking to his final resting place in College Station and the Presidential Library, where he will be laid to rest next to his wife, Barbara, and daughter, Robin. Chip, let's start with you. Has word gotten there to the folks there at the Presidential Library that the train has started its journey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People know it's on its way. They know it'll take about 2.5 hours to make it here. And again, it's going to be a very slow pace, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it takes a bit longer than that, because they really want to give people a chance to get a good look at this. You were talking earlier about a 4-year-old or so boy caught in a photograph. People will be taking photographs all along here. This is going to be something that 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds remember for the rest of their lives, and that their parents talk about for the rest of their lives. And that really is the whole idea. That was the idea with Abraham Lincoln and the other presidents. The reason they want to do this is to give people who can't make it to Washington or can't make it here to the library with their 4-year-old children a chance to honor the president and have an extraordinary moment in their lives as he passes by. You see a great shot there. Obviously, they have a camera mounted on the outside of the train there to give an idea. There will be thousands upon thousands of people all along the railroad tracks here. It really is going to be a big moment in many, many of their lives.
It is.
And by the way, one interesting little tidbit, when it gets here, you know, we've had an extraordinary array of music, a lot of it